Hey, everybody. We're going to get started in just a second. I am excited to check in with you. There's some things in my mind, and I just wanted to say hello and get things rolling here. Let me see if this is working. Phenomenal. Okay. We are in business. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Harlan Cohen Live. This is a new feature I'm going to be doing whenever I'm just feeling like doing it. And the reason I'm doing this right now is because I have been getting so many messages from so many people who are struggling, students who are struggling, first year students, college students, really in all different grades, all different years, and parents. I think where we are right now, and I'm recording this on October 24th. Right now, we are in a place where you're either having a great time as a first year student or you are like really out of energy, being just like miserable. Like it's just too much. And I get it because you've got your classes and you've got midterms, or you've already had your midterms, or maybe your midterms didn't turn out the way you want them to turn out. And then there's friends that you don't have or have, and then you have friends that you maybe aren't really into, and then maybe you didn't get into some different activities. There's things that are really disappointing to you, and then you see all these other people having a great time, right? Friday night, Saturday night, they suck. And then you look on social media and you're like, my friends are having a better experience than me, and this is all totally normal. Like this is what so many students are dealing with. And it's just so important that this is normal. Most of you don't know this is normal, and you think that the school's the problem or you're the problem, but the problem is no one tells you this is normal. If you started college in August and it's October, what did you have? Like a month to maybe like 2 months. 2 months to create a life for yourself. And if you haven't created a life for yourself, you're like, what's wrong with me? And the thing is, nothing is wrong with you. No one tells you this. It's not in the brochures, the mail. It's not on the websites. It's not on the social media that they're sharing with you. And I get it. So I want you to try to hang in there. I really want you to try and hang in there. A lot of you want to leave. A lot of you are like, I can't do this. And you know what? If you just can't, you can't. But there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And being alone means you just don't have people that you know. Then you have to figure out things to do so that you can meet people you know. And then there's lonely, which is longing to do things that you aren't invited to do or can't do. And that's where it really gets painful and difficult. This is an exercise in trying to figure out how to be alone. Some of you are up for it, some of you aren't. But let me tell you, this is totally normal. And the lesson of being able to work through this is so powerful. I wanted to share this video with you. This is Samantha and Brenna. They're two of my favorite people. And I wanted to share just a little bit of this with you because it's so powerful. Whenever anybody is feeling lonely or uncomfortable, I think of this conversation with Brenna. And this one's mostly with Brenna. Samantha is amazing. The two of them are incredible. This was from the University of Virginia. I was walking around campus and I just so happened to bump into them, and they were so kind. You could watch the entire podcast. I did like kind of like a roaming podcast. This thing is like over 2 hours. And I didn't have any of this planned. And I wanted to share a little bit of this conversation with you. I want to just jump in here now. Brenna's the one who's speaking, and then Samantha is there and she's recording this. And what happened is, if you watch this whole thing, I bumped into them. I think it's at the Rotunda. I don't even know the names of the different places. And Samantha is a sophomore and Brenna is a senior. And one of the reasons I want to point this out is because seniors and sophomores, like they meet these two, they went on a trip this summer because Brenna reached out to me because she followed up with me and she's like, we went abroad and we traveled and they had the coolest time together and they became friends and they were in this class and they met in this class and they had to like record a day in their life. So they were recording a day in their life and then I talked to them. So it was like they were recording me, recording them. So it was this whole little like meta wild, these layers. But Samantha and Brenna, they became friends Brenna's senior year. So it's like it doesn't just happen boom. And it's so hard for people to know. It doesn't just happen when you want it to happen. So let me continue. She's from Virginia, so she was also telling me, like, if you get into UVA and you're from Virginia, like, you go to UVA. It's in-state, it's an amazing school, and she wasn't a stranger, and it was still so hard. So another thing of the people she gravitated towards were a little more mature, they were a little older, and that takes time. Like, that takes time as well. Also, in any situation, when you're in a new place and you're feeling uncomfortable, you look for the people who are established, who want to be kind, who want to help other people. And I've seen this all over because I do a lot of speaking. I'll go to orientation sessions and I'll meet all of these leaders. So if you're someone who's in a new place, you look to the kindest people. But again, when you're in that place where it's so hard, you don't always think about this. I think that's so key of you wanna be around positive people. You don't wanna be around people who are hating life and who are miserable and don't want you to be happy. You find those happy people, the kind people, the people who have found their places, and you surround yourself with them. And again, that takes time, but if you put yourself in places where you can share those experiences. Second semester, being part of a fraternity or sorority, if you didn't get a bid or didn't get a bid to the fraternity or sorority you're interested in, you get to know those people over time, and you find other ways where you can connect. You gotta keep pushing through. That's what's so hard. So anyway, we continue the conversation. You don't have to watch us get bagels. Uh, Samantha is actually a Coca-Cola scholar, which was so interesting. And she was talking about how she was from Las Vegas and she was feeling homesick and how hard it was for her. And she found her way. And the two of them are incredible. And I hope you'll have a chance to watch this because it is it is the true story. It's the thing that most people don't talk about. And it's it's something that students, parents, anybody, you should watch this. You should watch this. I think it's so important. And if you're someone who's like, "I'm just so tired and exhausted of not having these things in my life that I want," then give yourself permission to not have them and be like, "This is just how it is right now. This is just how it is right now." And I went through this and then I eventually transferred. But one of the things that snapped in my head was I decided that I was going to leave, but I stayed for the rest of the year. And this mindset of, I do not need anyone to give me anything to like me, to accept me because I'm leaving. And it was this power of no longer having to be wanted, this surrendering of expectations from others that enabled me to meet people I like to be around. I ended up pledging a fraternity and then I depledged. I made friends and I was torn whether I should stay or not. I still transferred, but I transferred because I just wanted a fresh start, but I could have stayed. It was a long year. Part of this video, if you go to the very beginning of it, I talked to, oh, they were great. This whole group of students on the lawn, I go through the conversation asking them, what was your toughest month of school? Toughest month, September, October, November. You're in it. You're in it. And it's so hard to see how it gets better right now. But I'm telling you, this is a wonderful video and the things that I've shared and the advice that I've offered. So I hope this helps you. I just kind of want to reach out to you and just tell you that you're going to be okay. And if you tell yourself you're going to be okay and start to think, who are the kindest people I can be around? Where are some places I could put myself so I can find some community? Things are going to get better. Okay. Things are going to get better. All right. My son was caught using AI on part of his CS assignment. He didn't know why he was called to a meeting with the professor, but when confronted, he told the truth. And the professor actually just failed him on that assignment and didn't expel him from school. She said that because he didn't lie, she was not going to do that. This is a post I shared on my social media. And man, this thing has wreaked havoc. People, I'm going to share it with you. People have just blasted me, but also there's a lot of people who agree with this because if you are in this situation and you are lying and it's so clear you're lying, people do not like that. These professors, they do not like that because you're wasting your time. But the thing is, if it's your call, but most of the time they're pretty lenient. So let me show you what people had to say about this because it was pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bigger for you so you can see. I don't know if you can see the comments here. I'm trying to do some new things today, so we'll see if you can see some of the comments that were part of this. Okay, I'll make it even bigger. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see it's hard to read. But basically, this has like hundreds of thousands of views. One of the most popular comments is from a professor. It says, "We can really tell the difference. It's becoming more obvious as we read it. Professors have excellent pattern recognition. While you may get away with it in some classes, don't let it lure you into false security. Plagiarism is plagiarism. It doesn't matter whether it's AI or human-generated plagiarism. At the end of the day, it's still subject to academic dishonesty codes." And a lot of people, a lot of people commented on this. There's a lot of universities that will include AI. The most important thing is for you to know what's included and what's not included, and to make sure you don't do something that can accidentally get you in trouble. You can check this post out. Harlan, I know you often talk about dorm roommate problems and share more personal living. Okay, let me restart this over. Hey, Harlan, I know you often talk about dorm roommate problems and sharing a more personal living space, especially with a form of authority like an RA, but what about an apartment? I live in a 4-bedroom apartment where we share a kitchen, and this thing has been a terrible mess, and nothing I've done so far has helped. Texted our group chat, talked individually, nothing. It's getting to a point I can't cook because it's so messy, which is so disgusting. It's so messy, and all three of them don't see a problem. I don't think they have any reason to change. Any help we appreciate it. Help me, Harlan. This is a really good situation. This is like a juicy situation. All right, so let's dig into this. So, when you're living with someone, it's really important to have expectations because everybody comes to this situation and they have expectations. And some people, their expectations of what clean is going to be is very different. And your expectations may be very different. So, for them, they may not see a problem because leaving dishes and not cleaning the floor and not even knowing how to clean might be something that's reasonable to them. But for you, this is disgusting and horrible. So when you start that relationship, you have this conversation where you say, what is clean for all of us? Like, let's agree on what we want to do to clean and how clean we want things to be. Now, if you didn't do that, you can certainly go back, tell them, and you could apologize. I know it sounds weird to apologize. Like, why are you apologizing? They're disgusting. But you apologize because there wasn't a clear understanding, and you have a conversation with them. Maybe you get dinner, all you guys go out, and you bring up this point. You say, hey, there's something that's been making me uncomfortable. And if you followed any of my videos, there are 3 roommate rules. Roommates who want to get along find a way to get along. Friendship is a bonus unless you're already friends, which can be tricky, and it sounds like you're friends. And number 3, you have to agree to the uncomfortable rule, this idea that you can talk about things that make you uncomfortable. And if you don't talk about the things that make you uncomfortable, then you're the problem. You got that? So in this situation, this is something that makes you uncomfortable. You've brought it up through these group chats, and that hasn't really been successful. So you really need to do a reset. And you need to have this conversation at a time where people are like cool, right? Where there's not a lot going on, not a lot of stress. You don't like get pissed off when things are dirty and put someone on the defensive. You bring it up and you say, hey, there's something that's been making me uncomfortable. Oh, by the way, can we agree to this uncomfortable rule? This idea that if any of us is uncomfortable, we should talk about it. We need to talk about it. So like you can go back and start with that. And then you can bring up, hey, there's something that's been making me uncomfortable. And I wanted to find a way to help and a way for us to be able to keep things a little cleaner. I don't know if any of you have noticed that things have been kind of dirty. Have you noticed? You know, maybe they haven't even noticed. Sometimes I know with my ADHD, I don't see things that other people see. My wife will be like, "Did you notice that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see it." So just checking in and being like, "Do they even know what's going on?" And then the next thing is to mention that it's been really hard for you because you would really like things to be cleaner, and you wanted to know if they'd be open to having some sort of cleaning chart, having some sort of responsibility where each person cleans it a certain day, or there's a certain job you're doing each week. So there's like these chore boards, and you can bring that. So if you come to this conversation with an idea of ways to solve the problem, that can be really helpful. And then if they're like not into this or can't do it or don't want to do it, then the idea of like hiring someone to come in once every few weeks or a couple weeks, if you guys can afford that, seeing if that's an option. Otherwise, having some sort of way to clean and understand, is this important to them, and how clean is important to them? And then you're going to get an idea, because you might realize they don't want to do this. They don't want to keep things clean. And if you're living with someone, these are the questions you should have. These are the conversations you should have before you live together. And now you're in this situation, so you know. So you might not be able to get things as clean as you want, but you can at least have this conversation and see where everyone is. The mistake is to keep it a secret, to get really pissed off and angry and resent them. And then something that could be fixed becomes a bigger problem. All right, I want to share one more question with you. Harlan, I'm not sure if you'll see this or not, but yeah, I see it, but I'm in a tough spot right now at my college. I've fallen behind in a few classes. The university has said that I'm on academic jeopardy, and I've also emailed my parents, so your parents know now. Because of this, I've been skipping one of my classes because I'm embarrassed to go. Actually, too embarrassed to go. I want to stay at college because I love it here. I'm just not sure how to get back on track with my work. Well, if you do not go to your professor, you will not be going to college. Like, you are not going to go to college if you don't face the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. So you have this choice. It's like either face uncomfortable situations here or be back where I don't want to go. So hopefully that motivates you a little bit. And when it comes to being embarrassed, these professors have dealt with so many people who have made up so much crap, who lie, who don't show up, who beg for grades, who cheat, who do so many things that you might think would be embarrassing. Not understanding the materials, not doing as well as you'd like to do, and feeling uncomfortable, that's just being a student. So this idea of being embarrassed, the people who can help you are the people who are grading you. They know your grades. The problem is you're like probably feeling terrible about yourself. You're rejecting yourself. You're like, I'm better than this. Am I enough? Am I worthy of being here? Like, the embarrassment is that you're not good at getting bad grades. I'm great at failing. I usually get an F or an A. Like, that was my life. Still is my life sometimes. But now I recognize when I get the F, it's more about executive functioning. It's the inability to manage certain projects. It's a hard time reading. My ADHD makes it difficult for me to read. And I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm not saying you have, a learning difference. What I'm saying is, whatever it is that's making you uncomfortable, you go to that professor and you say, "Hey, I'm really embarrassed about something. I had a hard time with the materials, and I'm not used to having a difficult time. And I didn't go to a few classes because I just got so upset and frustrated. And I really would like to do better. And that's why I'm coming here. And it's really hard for me to come here and to have this conversation. And I'm hoping that you can help." And when you go in there owning who you are, owning your role, man, people respond. They respond. In fact, when you don't know, you give that person an opportunity to do something really powerful, and that's to help you, to invest in you. Then all of a sudden, boom, you have a mentor. You have someone in your corner who can write you letters of recommendation. They can be there to support you in so many ways that you don't recognize. So the power of getting help is all of a sudden someone gets to know you, and you do better. And you ask them what resources you should take advantage of. You ask them ways to study. You ask them for any resources, and things get better. And you use this as a life lesson when you get uncomfortable and things are difficult. Instead of hiding, appreciate your role. You're a student who doesn't know, and you're not supposed to know, and then get the help you need. All right? So do that. Don't be embarrassed. The most incredible, brilliant people struggle. This is a gift. It is a gift. All right. If you have any questions, you can send them to me. I'm going to be doing more of these lives. I want to answer your questions. I'm happy to see your comments. I want to be in your corner. I'm so grateful to be able to be here with you. Let me know if you appreciate this. If you like this, subscribe, send me feedback. I'm going to do more Excited to be in your corner, and I'm excited to see you. Thanks for watching.